Okay, today we're looking at adding integers. This time we're going to add integers with number lines. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously we're going to learn how to use a number line, and then we're going to utilize that number line to help us with our addition. Pretty simple concepts. First off, let's look at what we did last day. Last day we looked at adding whole numbers using integer tiles. Now, if you remember, the yellow tiles will represent the positive, so we'll write positive inside each one of these things. You don't really need to do that, but just for the sake of demonstration, we are. So to add positive 4 and negative 2, the easy things to do is to simply look for your 0 pairs. And a 0 pair is any two integers that have a sum of 0. So 1 and 1, going up 1, going down 1, knock each other out. They become non-existent. The next pair, again, become non-existent. So positive 4 and negative 2, once we all add it up, there's equals positive 2. That's pretty simple. One more time. Positive 6 and negative 3. We're left with 1, 2, 3. So this equals positive 3. And again, what happens if they're all negatives? We have negative 4 and negative 2. Well, we're not really canceling each other out, are we? We're just simply saying there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negatives. So our answer is negative 6. Okay, so that's a quick review of what we did last day. Now we're going to start looking at number line a little more intensively. Number lines are general things which just kind of show our numbers. Let's make sure we can see it all in our field here. So we have the 0 point, and this is basically where we start. This is 0. So if we're going to go up, let's give us a quick equation of plus 2 plus positive 4. The easy way to do this is, well, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can do that, and that's a fairly legitimate way to go if you're doing things in your head. However, if you're going to show your work on a number line, and this is very important, showing your work. If you're going to show your work on your number line, you actually need to identify what you're doing each time. So to do that, you can actually use arrows. So I can use my first arrow to show positive 2. And now I need to show another positive 4 on top of that. So I can do another arrow right here going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have plus or positive 2 and positive 4. We can show the two arrows and they show our work. In the end, of course, what are we pointing to? We are pointing to positive 6. So make sure you use these arrows. An alternative to that one step that we just showed, you can do one other thing, still using our arrows, but because we're already at positive 2, we could simply just start here. And it says positive 2 plus positive 4, so starting at the 2, we can simply go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can simply show it that way. So that's the other way of using your arrows, okay? Of course, we have to be able to show it going up and down because we're not always adding positive numbers. Let's give us a quick example of negative 4 plus positive 6. So to start with negative 4 going to positive 6, we have the two ways we can show our arrows. Now, first one is going to negative 4. So starting at our 0, we go to negative 4. Then, of course, we have to go positive. So then we go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making sure we got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that does work out. So negative 4, which took us way back here. Then we went up 6 which took us way up here, and our answer is positive 2. Of course, there's that second way of doing it where you just simply start at your first integer. Set as negative 4, so we simply start at negative 4. And then we, of course, add 6. Going in the positive direction because our integer is positive, and of course we still end up with positive 2. Pretty simple concept, guys. All right. Moving on, you can also use a number line in the up and down scale. When we use the horizontal, the one going side to side, you can use that generally in terms of money or any other numbers going up and down. However, often we use things that look this way going up and down. The easy one that you can think of when we're using an up and down number line, of course, is temperature. We'll just throw in that nice little thermometer over here so that you can feel comfortable going up and down. So let's say we start off with an easy. It is 4 degrees. If it is 4 degrees, that means we're already dealing with positive numbers. It is 4 degrees. And the temperature drops 7 degrees. How do we do that? If it's dropping, it's easy using the up and down scale because simply you are going down. So we're adding negative 7. So it is 4 degrees and we drop 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We go down 7 degrees. What's our temperature? It is negative 3. Of course, temperatures always rise too. So we could say that now rises. It is negative 3 or minus 3. And then our numbers can rise by 5. Plus 5. And we go the other direction now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we, of course, end up at 2 degrees in the positive scale. So you can see on both of these examples, we actually started at the integer rather than starting at 0. It's just a little bit quicker and a little bit easier, but this gives you a very concise way of doing things. It clearly illustrates where your numbers went. And that, of course, is important when you're proving your work. Yes, that's right. I said proving your work. You guys know you need to do it. You just don't like to. It's important when you're using these number lines, though, to pay attention to a couple of key words. Keywords you need to pay attention to. They always, especially in word forms, they say a lot of things, like temperatures rise or fall. Well, obviously when we're dealing with temperatures, we are looking at the vertical scale over here. So if temperatures are rising, they're going up, therefore rise means positive. If things are falling, it means they're going down, which means this is negative. Also, you can always use words that going up and down. We go up this much, down. And there's also things with money. We can make money or spend. Another word for spend is cost. Another word for make would be has, or has might even be a better idea of using where you start off with on your number scale. If I have $4, well, obviously I'm going to start here, and I make $3, and I would go to here, and then I spend $5, and I'd be left with that. Pay attention to these keywords, especially in your word problems. Now I'm going to give you an example. Let's use this one straight out of the textbook. Sandra and Joe buy and sell CDs at a flea market. For those of you who don't know, flea market is kind of like a permanent garage sale. People are selling used stuff. So one day in August, they bought 3 CDs. The keyword is bought. That means we are going to be spending that much money. We're going to be spending it 3 times because I bought 3 CDs, and it was $5 each. So if we're buying money, we're spending money, and we're spending $5 3 times, that's essentially -5 plus -5 plus -5, because it's spending money. If I was making money, it would be +5, but right now we're spending $5 3 times. So of course, -5, -5, and -5 is -15. And it says they sold 2 CDs for $9 each. Now, if you're selling something, you're getting money for it. So now we are making money. So we are making $9 twice, which is +9 plus +9. So using our number scale, let's see how we did. Now write the expense and income as integers. So we just did that right now. We have the expense, which is 15, and if we carried the 9's out, we would of course have +18. Obviously, looking at it, 18 is greater than 15, but we need to show our work. So we're going to do that. Showing our work. First thing we do is we spend $15. Now because I'm using a scale of 2's, 15 is an odd number, so it's going to come somewhere between 16 and 14. So I go down to here. And then we make money back, $18 worth. And we go shooting back this way. And because, again, we're dealing with an odd number, if we're going from 15 to 14, to 13 to 12, 11, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right here. It's in between 2 and the 4. And that is 3, of course. So question B is, did Sandra and Joe make or lose money that day on August? So they made $3. You could write it as an integer, but we're talking money, so they really do want to see $3 in August. It says explain. Well, because positive 18 is greater than -15. So I've shown my work. When it said write the expense and income as integers, I did that here. I could say this would be A, and I could say this would be B down here. I've also shown my work on the number line to prove how it works. And then I answered it by explaining it right here. That was a big one. It was a little bit confusing, but it only looks confusing after the fact. It was pretty simple going along the way. So what's your homework for today? You have a lot of questions. It is on page 62, questions 1 to 7 all. Now I say all, but you know what? Looking back over things, I'm going to change that one up. Because I'm a nice guy. For questions 1 and 2, you're only doing A through D, so A, B, C, and D. But each one says you must use a number line. Number lines are available on my desk. You will have to use those, and you will have to identify what question you're doing on which number line. So you'll have to label it 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. And for question 3, it's going to ask you to refer back to question 2. You'll need to show your work again. On question 4, it says to look at temperatures on the thermometer scale. It doesn't say anything about using a number line, so you're allowed to branch off and actually just use integers. And I think you're okay from there on in. If you have any questions, please come talk to me. Good luck, guys.